Look at example 6, and it's got lots of stuff going on, but again, if you make that first distinction between sides, and again, a lot of times in algebra, things are easier when you look at them in pieces instead of looking at the whole thing at once. The left-hand side is all this stuff over here, and if I look at those things that are happening over here, I have a distributive property of multiplying positive 2 times x and positive 2 times negative 5. I got a second distributive property happening here. I got negative 3 being multiplied by 2x and negative 3 being multiplied by negative 8. Okay, neither one of those things is very difficult by itself, but again, when you put this ginormous problem with all this stuff going on, sometimes we look and like get a little intimidated by it. So, positive 2 times x is positive 2x. Positive 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Negative 3 times positive 2x is negative 6x, and negative 3 times negative 8 is positive 24. Then the equal sign happens, so that's everything I can do for right now with the parentheses on the left-hand side. The right-hand side is this stuff over here, and just like on the left-hand side, I got a distributive property happening. Negative 6 is going to multiply through this parentheses. Be careful. I've seen people want to do 16 minus 6 is 10 and then distribute. Distribution happens first. That's the multiplication idea. That happens before subtraction should happen. So make sure that when you're looking and you see parentheses, fix that so anything not in the parentheses just gets rewritten. So 16 stays positive 16. Minus 6 times positive 4x makes negative 24x. Negative 6 and negative 3 makes positive 18. So again, here's my left-hand side, a little simpler because there's no parentheses. And I've got my left-hand side over here simpler because there's no parentheses. The next thing I'd like to do is get like terms dealt with on the left and right. So again, my left-hand problem and my right-hand problem, separate problems. On the left, 2x minus 6x, signs are different, subtract. 6 is bigger than 2, so negative. Negative 10 and positive 24 are like terms. Different signs, so we subtract. 24 is bigger than 10, so positive. On the right-hand side, 16 and 18 are like terms. They're both positive, so we're going to add. And 18 is bigger than 16, is positive, stays positive 34. And then negative 24x is the only x object on the right, so nothing happens to it. So when you combine like terms, if you have like terms, it changes into something new. If you have no like terms, you just rewrite that object. And notice this problem that had all the stuff going on transformed into just like problem number 3 now. I've got two sides to my equation. I've got 4 objects sitting there. I've got 2 objects that contain the letter x. And I've got 2 objects that are just numbers. So again, pretty much all these problems, no matter how unpleasant they are to begin with, through a little bit of algebraic simplification become this. A couple x's, a couple numbers, got to move a couple things around. So let's continue moving x to the left, numbers to the right. So if I chop this negative 24x and put it over here, it becomes positive. And this positive 14 move over there becomes negative. So negative 4x is not moving, it stays negative. Negative 24x becomes positive because I moved it across the equal sign. 34 stays where it's at, it stays positive. 14 moves to the right, becomes negative. So this moved, it changed the sign. This moved, it changed the sign. These two didn't move, they did not change signs. The 2 objects on the left are like terms again. 24x minus 4x, the signs are different, so I subtract. 24 is bigger than 4, so it's positive. The signs over here are different, so I subtract. 34 is bigger than 14, so it's positive. And if 20x equals 20, we simply divide both sides by the coefficient 20. And any number divided by itself equals 1. Okay. That's as unpleasant as they're going to get right now. The equations. Okay. I didn't see any fractions or decimals today, so that's probably not going to happen. If it does, I'll walk you through it when we go through homework tomorrow.